1 second, Israel. Give me 1 second. Shalom, Israel. Yahweh Shema Shabbat. Thumb Yahweh Shema Thambashim Yahshai. Preaching episode 1000 Yadai. I'm holding it down to Captain of 10,000. Ahmad Yashar gets here. Captain Ahmad Yashar be here shortly. Yeah, I mean, if there are any questions in the room or any questions online, any questions in the room? No sweat. Understand this, man. As Blacks and Latinos, we have to realize on why brotherhood is important. Brotherhood is important because it is what we have. The thing we need to realize is that you're not going to find brotherhood in the world. You're not going to find brotherhood with these other nations. You're not going to find it. You know who else found that out to be true? Meek Mill. Meek Mill went out there to Ghana and thought that he was going to have prosperity and brotherhood. And he ended up getting robbed, Chris. Meek ended up getting robbed, beat up, chased. I'm like, damn, like that could have had, you listen, and it goes to show you too, that we are a completely different people than the so-called Africans who are Hamites. Like they are not our people. But we need to realize, man, that Latino man and woman, that is your brother and that is your sister. That First Nation and Seminole Indian man and woman, that's your brother, that's your sister. That fellow Black man and woman in the West Indian Islands, Trinidad and Tobago, Guyana, Jamaica, you know what I mean? In the Isle of Hispaniola with the Haitians and the Dominicans, those are our family. You're not going to find brotherhood with these heathens, man. You don't give a damn about us. It goes to show you. And that's why it is important to realize, man, who is your brother. And we're going to go into that as well, man. Go find out who your brother is. Your brother is your so-called fellow Israelite, man. That so-called Black man and woman. That so-called Latino man and woman. And let me get Romans, right? Romans chapter 12 and verse 10. Go for sure. Bear with me 1 second. Let me get the book of Romans chapter 12 and verse 10. Show it to you, man, like why it's important that we have brotherhood with one another. Because if we have brotherhood with one another, you know what we won't need to do? We won't need to want to go to Ghana and try to find brotherhood. And that's a hustle that they have been putting on our people for far too long to tell us, oh, you need to come home. Africa is not our home. Ghana, Nigeria, you know what I mean? West Africa is not our home, man. Our home is Jerusalem. Our home is Zion. Our home is Israel, if you are a so-called Black man and woman or Latino man and woman. And we have to learn, man, to love each other the way Christ told us to. I'm going to show you that. Give me Romans chapter 12 and verse 10, Bible Show.
Oh my God, this is Romans chapter 12, verse 10.
Go ahead.
Be kindly affectioned one to another.
Listen, man, the Lord told us to be kindly affectioned one to another. You know what it means to be kindly affectioned one to another? Knowing how to deal with each other, man. Knowing how to talk to each other. That's another thing that we don't know how to do nowadays, especially in the world. You don't know how to talk to your brother. You don't know how to talk to your sister. You don't have to be disrespectful. You don't got to use, you know what I mean, an extra level of aggression when talking to your brother and your sister, man. You can't just talk to your brother and sister any type of way. Don't talk to anybody any type of way, man. The scriptures say to be at peace with all men. You know what I mean? Don't get me wrong, but heathen if somebody try you, you know what I mean? Of course, you know what I mean? You got to be able to defend yourself, you know what I mean? And know how to, you know what I mean, you carry yourself. But at the same time, there is a time and place for all that, especially when it comes to our own people. We're so quick, you know what I mean, to get into arguments, get into fights with one another. But we have to learn to be kindly affectionate one to another as Blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indians. And to show you how true this is, right? When Meek got robbed, Chris, and got beat up and got chased in that venue, he went on Twitter like, "Oh, I could have just lost my phone." You know what I mean? When I was riding the dirt bikes out there, they treated me well. You know what I mean? I'm a signer artist out there in Ghana. The heathens treat you like garbage and you still love them. The oppressor treats us like garbage and you still love them. The scripture right here is talking about brotherhood between blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indians, man. We have to be kindly affectionate one to another. Because if a brother, you know what I mean, disrespects you, or you perceive it to be disrespect, or looks at you in a certain type of the wrong type of way, you're ready to kill it. You're ready to get into an argument, not willing to do the brotherly thing that if a brother offends you or if a sister offends you, pull them to the side, like Christ said, man. And that's a law. Christ came to enhance the law, man, and let us know that if a brother or sister offends you, man, pull them to the side. And you got a lot of brothers and sisters that will appreciate it, man. That's why we have to learn to be kindly affectionate one to another and how we speak to each other and how we deal with each other. A lot of us have just become so evil, especially some of y'all brothers, man. Like how you talk, you know what I mean, to certain brothers. It's just not right. It's not. You don't want no brother talking to you any type of way. Don't talk to that brother any type of way. And that go on, you know what I mean, with sisters too. I see some of y'all out there, especially in the world, talking down to your sister about every old thing. Or if you're a brother, you know what I mean, talking down to a sister talking down to a brother, that has to stop. We have to learn to be kindly affectionate one to another and how we deal with each other. And read on.
With brotherly love.
With what?
Brotherly love.
With brotherly love, real brotherly love. They say Philadelphia is the city of brotherly love. I would not know it, especially if you're in the world. If you're in the world, man, Philly does not seem like a place of brotherly love. But you know where you will find brotherly love? In the city of Philadelphia. That's in the Isupk, man, 41 Garrett Road under Commander General Yohana. Been doing this since 1969. That's where you're going to find real brotherly love. Brotherly love where, you know what I mean, you don't have to worry about leaving your woman, you know what I mean, around one of the brothers in the school. You leave your woman around a brother in the world. Good night. She ain't your woman no more, Chris. She ain't your woman no more. Goes to show you, man. You don't have to worry about, you know what I mean, leaving your phone or misplacing something. It'll be in the same place that you left it. You can't say that, you know what I mean, for people in the world, man, especially brothers and sisters in the world. Brotherly love, man. Kindly affection with brotherly love. Because what is that brotherly love, man? That brotherly love is loving, you know what I mean, the Most High with all thy mind and thy strength and thy soul, and loving our neighbor, meaning loving our brother as thyself. Those two hinge all the law, statutes, and commandments, man. Loving the Most High and having brotherhood with one another, we can do this, man, as blacks and Latinos, and come back in the truth and the Isupk under Commander General Yohana. This can be done. It's not impossible. You know why it seems impossible? Because you're in a Christian church where there is no brotherly love. In the Christian church, man, and you can forget about it, the Muslim mosque, you know what I mean, all the whoredom, all of the homosexuality, all of the corruption, all of the grand larceny, all of the theft that's going on in the church, you won't find brotherly love there. But you will find brotherly love in the UPK under Commander General Yohana. This is where brotherly love is. Be kindly affectionate one to another with brotherly love, man. Read on.
Okay. In honor, preferring one another.
In honor, preferring one another. Meek should have understood, man, that he needs to prefer that black man and woman, that Latino man and woman. You mean to tell me that you couldn't go to 7th and Cumberland and have your concert? Right. You could have went out there, you know what I mean, with our own people, and you would have been well received. Nothing would have happened to you. You could sign a brother, you know what I mean, from North or South or Southwest Philly. You don't got to go to Ghana for that. You have to learn to prefer your own. The problem is we prefer the heathen. The problem is we prefer those that do us wrong. We can't do that. We have to learn to prefer each other in honor. And it is honorable doing that. It is honorable saying, I'm only going to take a wife of the daughters of my people, man. It is honorable to be a sister saying, I'm going to pick a husband of the sons of my fathers. You know what I mean? That is an honorable thing to do. It is an honorable thing to live by these laws, statutes, and commandments as a black, Latino, or First Nation man and woman. That is honorable. In honor, preferring one another. And what we have to realize, man, in honor, preferring one another, it goes same thing, hand in hand, you know what I mean, how you see our people in the world, man. We got to extend this brotherhood to them. But at the same time, we have to prefer one another. I know we all got homies in the world. I got homies in the world right now that is high right now watching camp videos, watching UPK videos. I used to be one of them brothers, Chris. They used to sit down, get high, and watch Commander General Yohana and watch Captain Mashad. You know what I mean? And getting high. And then one day I came into the school, man, as a young man. And Captain Ahmad told me, you know what I mean? He said you could be that brother on the sidelines doing whatever, or you can get in the game. We're in the game now. And I applaud every young brother, every young sister that come up in this truth, because it is not an easy thing to do. The Lord has to pick you. Now it's up to you to remain, because Satan is going to work 10 times harder. That's why you have to prefer this brotherhood. You have to prefer being up in here, living by these laws, statutes, and commandments, man, and honor, preferring one another. Not preferring to go out in the world and be a whoremonger with your homies. Not going out there in the world and preferring smoking weed and doing all the dumb shit that got us messed up to begin with. You got to learn to prefer each other. Prefer this brotherhood, man. That's why also, man, in 1 Peter, I believe it's chapter 2 and verse 9, it says, you know what I mean? As a matter of fact, let's go to it. Hold on. Let's go to 1 Peter, chapter 2, in verse That's all. Give me 1 Peter, chapter 2. 1 Peter, chapter 2, and verse 17. 1 Peter chapter 2 and verse 17, young man Chris, if you could.
This is 1 Peter chapter 2, verse 17.
Mm-hmm.
Honor all men.
Honor all men, man. Honor all men. When it says honor all men, right, you got to learn, man, that you can't be an evil bastard, you know what I mean, to everybody. You have to honor all men. Like, give honor, you know what I mean, to all Black, Latino, and First Nation men and women and how to conduct yourself, and even amongst the heathen. You know what I mean? The scriptures say, you know what I mean, you can't abhor either, Mike. Meaning we can't go up beating up Esau, treating them any type of way. When we go out there in the streets and in these classes, it's teach about the atrocities and evils that they've done. You know what I mean? We're supposed to give honor to all men. They're supposed to be able to look at us and be like, God damn, this is a wise and understanding people. And they do. They know it. Even though they say, oh, you in a cult. Oh, man, you know, he's a cult leader. But when you look at every brother and sister in the UPK, we are the most upstanding, you know what I mean, respectable and honorable brothers and sisters that you will ever come across in your life. Whether if you are Israelite or a heathen, you will have to concede that the men and women that come up under command of General Yohana are honorable, you know what I mean, and respectable. And the scriptures say to give honor to all men. You can't just go around treating anybody and everybody any type of way. So honor all men. Honor that Black man, that Latino man, First Nation man and woman. Keep going.
Love the brotherhood.
Love the what?
Brotherhood.
Now, when it says love the brotherhood, love the brotherhood. Love the Israelite School of UPK. Love this brotherhood. And love this brotherhood so much that you extend this brotherhood to our brothers and sisters in the world. Extend it to them. Don't be that brother and sister in here, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Barakatah, Yahweh Shema Thamba Shem Yahweh in here, and be a wicked brother or a wicked evil bitch out there in the world to your brothers and sisters out there. Don't do that. You got to extend that brotherhood to them. Meaning, love this brotherhood. Go on.
Fear God.
And fear God. Fear the Most High. Give me 1 second.
Yeah, I'll take it. All right, shalom.
With that being said, I'm gonna pass the class off to the priest and captain of 10,000. I'm out the show.
Jumbo bite. Chris. How's everybody coming along today? All right, sign Chris. Anybody bear with me a second? I got my jumbo Bible up here today. You know what I'm saying? Been plotting on this thing for a minute. Finally got it in my possession. No, I'm on to while you can see if anybody else needs something. All right, so of course, Shalom Akim Isupk. Start out at 1 West 125th Harlem, New York. As we know, tonight is the Brotherhood Unity class. If anybody have any questions, like every other week, right? Type it in. Any questions, go ahead, type it in. And Lord will, I can get to you tonight. All right. Bear with me 1 second. All right, so in tonight's class, we're going to get into the sacrifice, right? You got to make to serve the Lord, not only to serve the Lord, but to stay grounded in the truth, right? As we know, we just got done Christmas, New Year's, the next holiday is coming up, I believe Valentine's Day, right? And so on and so on. And of course, these so-called holidays can tend to, make us weak as a people, seeing what our people is going through. And if I could also, all the crime that occurred this week, Yediah,
Right.
New Year Eve, weekend, tons of people got shot, of course, murder. All right, so we're going to get into Matthew on the 16th chapter. If anybody have any questions, just let me know. All right. Okay. All right, we're gonna get into the sacrifice that Abraham was about to make, right? Before the Lord stopped him. So let's start at Matthew 16. And hold on, bear with me a second. Okay. Okay, let's start at 16 and 20. 23. Matthew 16 and 23. Whoever have it can go ahead and read it, okay?
This is Matthew chapter 16, verse 23. But he turned and said unto Peter, Get thee behind me, Satan. Thou art an offense unto me, for thou savorest not the things that be of God, but those that be of men.
God.
Verse 24. Then Yahushua said Yahushua unto his disciples, If any man will come after me.
Now, if any man will come after me, of course, we have people always talk about, following Christ. Forget about it. Everybody always talking about how much they love God, how much they do anything for God, and all this and all that. But when it comes down to it, when it comes down to actually obeying God, everybody runs away. Literally, everybody runs away. Somebody may say, "Oh yeah, I love God," but when it's time to actually follow the Lord, everybody is gone, right? So now Christ said, "If any man will come after me," meaning if any man or woman is actually going to come and follow Christ, I can't. Go ahead.
Let him deny himself.
That's the first start, right? The first start is denying yourself. Denying yourself from what? Your flesh, right? You being carnal, you cussing people out all day, you not knowing how to communicate with people, not knowing how to deal with people on an everyday basis, right? When it comes to serving the Lord, let him deny himself. Go ahead.
And take up his cross.
Right. Also, right, you got to deny yourself from the things that you were taught, right? You got to deny yourself from Christmas. You got to deny yourself from New Year Eve. You got to deny yourself from all the things that your parents have taught you that was wrong, right? But of course, you was a child, so you ain't know, so you was just following along, right? The Lord said, if any man come after me, let him deny himself and take up his cross. Go ahead.
And follow me.
And do what?
Follow me.
And follow me, right? Most people want to follow themselves, right? They want to follow the oppressor. They want to follow America. Why? Because in America, right, you have this freedom to do whatever the hell you want in America. All right, literally, it's like, you can go out there and smoke 1,000 L's. You can be a homosexual, and God loves you no matter what. In Christ's kingdom, it's going to be tons of restrictions. Your diet. Right. You understand me? They ain't gonna like those Israelites. I can't work on the Sabbath. Number one, you ain't gonna have a choice. You understand me? Like how they mandated the face masks for a couple years, right? We're gonna have laws that's going to be mandated, right? No man or woman is going to work on the Sabbath day. Nobody is going to come up against this book called the Bible, right? So with that being said, you got to take up that cross. What is that cross? The burden, right? The burden that you're going to have to experience. You're going to have to take your burden and follow Christ. Let's read on.
verse 25.
Mm-hmm.
For whosoever will save his life shall lose it.
Now let's understand what Christ is saying here, right? For whosoever will save his life, right? Let's start right there. How can a man or woman save their life? What is life, right? I know we were taught in America that life is all about money. It's all about the Benjamins. It's all about the hoes. I be watching videos on Facebook, right? YouTube, and it's like, yo, you got a group of Negroes talking about a business plan, and you're dying. They like, man, let's go get some pussy, man. What the hell y'all talking about? Let's go meet some chicks, or let's go to the strip clubs, right? Now, of course, with that being said, for whosoever will save his life shall lose his life. How can any man or woman actually save his or her life according to the Bible? Go ahead.
By repentance.
Okay, by repent. I take it. That's a good one. Let me give you a scripture though. Let's go to Baruch, right? Chapter 4 and verse 1 in the Apocrypha. All right, Baruch 4 and verse 1. All right, go ahead. You can read it, Brother Chris, when you get it. Oh, go ahead, read it, you die, please.
Baruch chapter 4, verse 1.
Uh-huh.
This is the book of the commandments of God.
Now, this is the book of the commandments of God, right? All right, this book is the Bible, the Holy Bible, King James Version. Go ahead.
And the law that endureth forever.
Now, they say, well, the laws of God done away with. You ever ask yourself, all right, ask that preacher this. When he says the laws of God is done away with, can I rob you? That's a law, right? Thou shalt not steal. Can I rape your daughter? It's a law against rape in the Old Testament, right? A man ain't supposed to force himself on a woman. Right. And if he was to do something like that, he'd be put to death according to the law of Moses, right? So if the laws of God is actually done away with, then you're telling me I can kidnap all your children, I can sell them, I can rob you, I can run up in your house and take everything that you worked for a long time, right? This is the book of the commandments of God, right? This is the book that he chose. And how we know this book is real? All the prophecy that was written. Deuteronomy 28 and 68. How the Lord said we're going to slavery, right? Bound women and bound men off of cargo slave ships. But read on.
And the law that endureth forever.
And the law that endureth forever. So anybody who's saying the laws of God is done away with, they're lying, right? Because the Lord said the law that endureth forever. How can you have a society with no rules? And if I could, right, the laws, if we were in charge, right, there wouldn't be no AIDS or no HIV. You want to know why? Because no men will have sex with men. No woman will lie with other women, right? No woman will have sex with more than one man unless her husband died, all right? It wouldn't be no cancer. You want to know why? Nobody would smoke. We wouldn't even sell cigarettes in the stores, right? Like the Lord said, when the unrighteous is in authority, the people mourn. The people are mourning right now. Why? Because the oppressor is in charge. With the laws of God, you have a better society. Down in California, you know why they robbing so much? Because the oppressor is not enforcing the law. That's so like just terrible in San Francisco, California. It's crazy. Why? Because the oppressor wants us to go out there and steal and rob people, because that's how the court systems get paid. If we don't steal, then you don't need a judge. You don't need a lawyer. You don't need a public defender. The Lord said the law endures forever. Let's read on.
Come. All they that keep it shall come to life.
All they that do what?
All they that keep it shall come to life.
All they that keep it, meaning once you start to keep the laws of God, you're going to start to remember some things. It's going to be like it's going to start clicking in your mind, right? And then before you know it, you're going to look at Negroes that smoking weed. Yo, they like zombies out there. What the hell is going on? You're going to look at alcoholics like they need to drink all day 24/7. Man, they're dead. They don't see what you see. And the reason why they don't see, because they didn't come back to the commandments of God. Read that last line one more time, please.
All they that keep it shall come to life.
All they that keep it shall come to life. So those that don't keep it, they won't come to life. Okay, let's read on.
But such as leave it shall die.
But such as what?
But such as leave it shall die.
Hey, who created that saying the good die young? Because that's a lie. The good do not die young. All right. You want to know why young people die? Because they don't have the laws of God. That's why they die. Right? They don't have the commandments of God. It's only one way to like really put the like explanation point on it. Like, how can I live? I can only live if I do the right thing. If I don't do the right thing, then I'm going to die. Okay, so let's drop that and let's go back to Matthew, the 16th chapter. Let's start at 24. Read 24 again from the top, please.
Matthew chapter 16, verse 24. Then said Yahushua unto his disciples, if any man will come after me, let him deny himself.
So if any man or woman going to come serve God, then you got to deny yourself from your deceitful lust. Okay, read.
And take up his cross.
And take your burden. Go ahead.
And follow me.
And do what you got to do no matter what. All right, read on.
Verse 25. For whosoever will save his life.
So we know what life is, right? Life is when you come back to God and obey his commandments, right? For those that keep the law shall come to life, but such as leave it shall die. Read on.
Shall lose it.
Mm-hmm.
And whosoever will lose his life for my sake shall find it.
All right, so let's go back a little bit. For whosoever will save his life shall lose it. What does that mean? For whosoever shall save his life will lose his life. Meaning what? Go ahead.
Like all the old stuff we used to do back in the world, we don't want to get rid of it.
Right, you want it, right? Also, you want to look at it like this. Christ is preparing you for this walk. Okay, everybody say, oh yeah, I'm in the truth. Oh yeah, I'm gonna do what I gotta do until it starts to get rough, right? Just like this, right? Think about human beings, right? Let's say you got $1 million, or you got $10 million, or you win the lottery. Everybody is your friend, right? Until you lose everything. Where's everybody at? Where you at, John? Where you at, Andre? I've been rolling you up for years. All those apes I've been buying you. Where you at now? I need your hand and I need some help. Oh, yo, bro, man, you know I just lost my job. You know I don't got it. You know I'm jammed up. Hey, man, you know I had to buy a Christmas present for all my kids. Yeah. So where is everybody? They ain't around. Christ is preparing you for this walk. For whosoever will save his life shall lose his life. Meaning you got to be prepared to lose the things that the Lord gave you in the world, which really was nothing. Okay, really nothing, and it ain't really worth it to even hold on to it anyway. Let's read on.
Verse 26. For what is a man profited if he shall gain the whole world?
Yadiah, can you hold Matthew 6 and 19 for me, please? Go ahead, read that again.
Matthew chapter 16, verse 26.
Mm-hmm.
For what is a man profited if he shall gain the whole world and lose his own soul?
So now you're saying, how can a man profit if you gain the whole world and you lose your own soul? Meaning you can't tell people who you are. Hey, I'm an Israelite. If you Kanye West, they're going to cancel you. They don't like the truth. Okay? They would rather black people be dead, sleep, going through hell, begging them for money, begging them for everything. Let's read on.
Or what shall a man give in exchange for his soul?
All right, let's drop that. Let's go to Matthew 6 and 19.
The book of Matthew, chapter 6, and verse 19. Lay not up for yourselves treasures upon earth.
Now, most people make investments for things on earth, right? The Lord telling us, lay not up yourselves treasures upon earth. Go ahead.
where moth and rust do corrupt,
Mm-hmm.
and where thieves break through and steal.
See that? You can have all the watches in the world, all the gold, all the chains, right? You can have all the money in the world, and guess what? Somebody can come and take it away from you. Most of us think that money gonna solve all our problems. It ain't. Now, money can solve some of your problems, but it can't solve everything, right? The Lord said, "Lay not up treasures upon the earth." Read verse 20.
Come, verse 20. But lay up for yourselves treasures in heaven.
Read that again.
But lay up for yourselves treasures in heaven.
Because real gold, y'all want to know where real gold comes from? It comes from God. Okay? But lay up for yourselves treasures in heaven. Go ahead.
Come. Where neither moth nor rust do corrupt,
Mm-hmm.
and where thieves do not break through nor steal.
Now, how you know nobody can take your treasure in heaven? No thieves can come and break up in your house and take anything. Why is that? Mm-hmm.
Because the law prevents too.
There you go. So in our kingdom, nobody gonna rob anybody.
Right.
That ain't gonna happen. You think you want to get close to Christ's mansion? Hey, you try. Right? You think you're gonna get close to Commander Jenny Hanna and Christ's kingdom? Right? Matter of fact, if you even think about stealing from somebody gonna come lock your ass up. All right, that's the power and authority we're gonna have in Christ's kingdom, and that's why the Lord telling us to make that investment now, right, for the kingdom's sake, because nobody can take that away from you. Okay, let's read on.
Come. Verse 21. For where your treasure is, there will your heart be also.
Read that again.
Come. For where your treasure is, there will your heart be also.
All right, somebody break that down. What does that mean? For where your treasure is, there will your heart be also. This is actually pretty simple, though, to be honest, right? For where your treasure is, there will your heart be also. Come on, take a stab at it. Your heart is your mind, right? Right? So now, for where your treasure is, there will your mind be also. What is your treasure? Your treasure is like your money, right? Your finances. So you want to know where somebody's mind is at? Your diet. You pull up their bank statement.
Right.
Oh, you got all that money you spending on Pornhub. Yo, you on these websites and you just spending all this money. You think nobody don't know? That's where. Look, I know those banks like, oh man, there's some wicked people out there. They be looking at those statements. You understand me? So now, right now, if your mind is on the Lord, then of course you'll make an investment in the Lord. And make sure you pay your tithes, right? You do what you're supposed to do. That's how you know if somebody's mind is really on the Most High God. Now you know somebody's mind is on like going out all the time because they spend money on drinks all day, or they go to the liquor store, they get bottles and they popping and they drunk as hell all day, every day, right? You know, if somebody love their children, about what they do for their children, right? You feed them, you take care of them, right? They do something good, you go ahead and reward them, right, for the good deed that they have done. So now the Lord said, for where your treasure is, there will your heart be also. Now, if I could, you got some woman out there saying, man, I'm not spending no money on my man. I ain't doing nothing. Then your mind is not on him. Right? God damn, what's $10 for a tip? What's that? Nothing wrong with it. It goes to show, right, the Lord trying to help you understand how to know where somebody's mind truly is. Okay? And once again, everybody got to make a sacrifice to serve the Most High God. Let's drop that. Let's go to 1 Corinthians 5 and verse 7. I may go up a little bit, though. Bear with me a second. Hold on. Okay. 1 Corinthians 5, and let's start at verse 4. Okay, 1 Corinthians 5 and 4. Whoever got it, go ahead and read it, please.
1 Corinthians chapter 5, verse 4.
Mm-hmm.
In the name of our Lord Yahushua Mashiach, when ye are gathered together in my spirit with the power of our Lord Yahushua Mashiach.
Okay,
5.
so in the name of our Lord Yahushua, right, Christ, Yahushua Mashiach, when ye are gathered together, right, like how we gather together on the Sabbath day, high holy days, feast of unleavened bread. I think somebody knocking on the door. And my spirit with the power of our Lord Yahushua Mashiach, verse 5. Go ahead.
To deliver such an one unto Satan for the destruction of the flesh, that the spirit may be saved in the day of the Lord Yahushua.
So to deliver such as one unto Satan for the destruction. How do you deliver somebody up to Satan? You may have a husband, right? You've been telling him about the truth, right? He don't get it. He still want to smoke weed. You may have a wife, or you may have some disobedient children, or you may have some evil friends. And it's like, what you do, never try to force the truth on anybody. Okay? The Lord said, cast not thy pearls before the swine. Okay? If you attempt to try to give somebody the truth, and if they reject it, then just stop. Right? It's also something in the Bible that Paul said, you go to them 3 times. Right? You try to give it to them 3 times. You go once, second, third time, and if they don't get it, then you just go ahead and just let them be. Right? And Satan gonna deal with them. Okay? Of course, I know coming out the world, we all want to save everybody because we love all of our people, and I get it, and I understand that. But it's some spirits that's on people, and if you try to push it on them, they're gonna flip it back on you. Okay? And now you're saying they're thinking like, man, I'm in all this trouble because I try to give you the truth. Like, you can't give somebody gold that don't want it. Okay? You can't. For example, I was talking to this brother I met today earlier. Right, he out there panhandling for change. You know what I'm saying? And he come up to me, and I look out for him a little bit. Right, and on the second, I was like, "Hey, I got something, but it ain't money, but it's more precious than gold." And I gave him a flyer, you diet. Right, on the second, I gave him that flyer. Right, and I'm watching his body movement. He's so focused on the next person he about to ask $1 for, not knowing this is all you need right here.
Right.
Like this flyer and coming to class and changing your life and learning the laws, statutes, and the commandments of God going to give you the strength to not even have to be out there begging anybody for nothing. Because then God going to take care of you. God going to take care of his. Okay? Let's read on.
Verse 6. Your glory is not good.
Go ahead.
Know ye not that a little leaven leaveneth the whole lump?
Now, what is the metaphor, right? When it comes to you cleaning yourself, right, mentally, in your mind, spiritually, physically as well, right, watching where you go, places you go, you got to get all the sin out, okay? You can't just come up in here, right, and keep some of the laws and try to hide some of those dirty thoughts, right, up in your mind, or people in the world normally call it dirty secrets, right? You don't want to let anybody know that you fighting, or you going through this, or you going through that, or you had to experience whatever the case may be, right? The Lord trying to tell you, you got to get it all out, okay? Let's read on.
Verse 7. Purge out therefore the old leaven, that ye may be a new lump.
Go ahead.
As ye are unleavened.
All right, so now, what is the metaphor here? Okay. Purge ye out therefore the old leaven, that ye may be a new lump, as ye are unleavened. For even Christ, our Passover, is sacrificed for us. What is the metaphor? You gotta get rid of that old man and that old woman.
Right.
That's the constant fight. Every single day. You gotta purge out the old leaven that ye may be a new lump. Drop down to verse 8.
Therefore, let us keep the feast, not with old leaven, neither with the leaven of malice.
That's how you know he actually talking about food, and it's a metaphor because he about to break it down. Therefore, let us keep the feast, right? The Passover feast, right? Which is in North Carolina next year. Barakatayawa Wayawashai, Raleigh, North Carolina.
Right.
Therefore, let us keep the feast, not with old leaven, neither with the leaven of malice. Go ahead.
And wickedness.
And wickedness. Go ahead.
But with the unleavened bread of sincerity and truth.
See that? Meaning you gotta rock out with this truth. All right. That's how you change your life and get rid of the old man or old woman. Okay. Let's drop down to verse 10.
Verse 10. Yet not altogether with the fornicators of this world.
Read that again.
Yet not altogether with the fornicators of this world.
I don't gotta tell y'all what happened January 1st, 1201. Matter of fact, they started before that. Right? They got nice and drunk. You imagine how many diseases they didn't caught. Oh my God, the crab, HIV, herpes, chlamydia, gonorrhea. Let not all together with the fornicators of this world. What is the Lord telling us? That we must be holy. What does it mean to be holy? We must separate ourselves from the world. That's why, once again, we could have went out Friday or Saturday night on whatever that day New Year was, right? But of course, we decided not to. Why? Because we don't want people in the world to even think that I'm one of you.
Right.
Or I'm out there celebrating New Year's. The Lord called us to be a holy nation of people.
Right.
Let's read on.
Or with the covetous.
Now, what is covetous? One, something that ain't yours. One, another man's woman. God damn. Read.
Or extortioners.
Uh-huh.
Or with idolaters.
Go ahead.
For then must ye needs go out of the world.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 11. But now I have written unto you not to keep company. If any man that is called a brother be a fornicator, or covetous, or idolater, or a railer, or a drunkard, or a extortioner, with such and one know not to eat.
What is the Lord saying? You got to learn to cut people off. Hey, I cut people off in a heartbeat. You understand me? You don't want to serve the Lord. You want to come up against me? You want to come up against the truth? Then, hey, just cut them off, right? Because they are what? Fornicators, covetousness, idolaters, right? They only serve idols, right? Alcoholics, a people that have been rebellious to the Most High for many, many, many generations. For time's sake, drop down to verse 13.
Verse 13. But them that are without God judgeth.
Read that again.
But them that are without God judgeth.
So, but them that are without, the Lord going to judge them. How you know you're going to judge them? You're going to hear about another Negro got shot down in Philadelphia. Somebody that got ran over by a car. Somebody that got shot to death. Somebody that lost their son. Somebody that lost their daughter. The Lord is going to judge them according to their works, right? Which is why it's very important for us to not get involved in that, man. Sometimes, people get caught up in the crossfire. Happens every day, right? Only thought you'd be up in the car somehow. You shouldn't have been in the car with. Right? And now you got this nigga trying to shoot him, trying to kill him. And now you then got caught up in the crossfire rolling with him. He a drug dealer, right? The hell you gonna get up in his car? So now the cops pull him over. You going to jail too, right? Now that's what 5-10 years for nothing. The Lord telling you separate from them, okay, from evildoers. But them that are without, the Most High will judge. Read on.
Therefore, put away from among yourself that wicked person.
Read that again.
Therefore, put away from among yourselves that wicked person.
Read that again.
Therefore, put away from among yourselves that wicked person.
Yeah, you get that. All right, you put away from yourself that wicked person. So you don't got to be punished with him, right? The perfect precept you need for that is when the Lord said, what is it? Revelation 18:4, come out of America, so ye won't receive her punishments. Okay, that's in the book of Revelation. All right, right fast. You die. Give me Psalms 119 and 115. All right, let me show you what King David said thousands of years ago when he was somewhat in the same situation. Okay.
Psalms chapter 119 and verse 115.
Yep, Psalms 119 and 115. You got it.
Khan, depart from me, ye evildoers.
Read it again.
Khan, depart from me, ye evildoers.
See that? He didn't say, hey, I'm going up in the house with them, or I'm going to a strip club, or I'm about to go in and celebrate New Year's. No, King David said, depart from me, ye evildoers. Read.
Khan, for I will keep the commandments of my God.
So now what is David saying here? I ain't gonna be like y'all. I can't. Right? You know, when you come in the truth, right, God gonna give you that conscience, right? You go from smoking weed to hating the smell of it. I'm telling you, man. Right? You go from smoking cigarettes to hating the smell of cigarettes. Literally, I'm telling you, right? So with that being said, sometimes you got to cut those people off that's in your circle. You think they in your circle, but really they ain't, okay? And once again, even cutting them off is going to take a sacrifice. You got to make that sacrifice. You got to cut off that so-called friend or your so-called family members that's really waiting, and I'm telling you, waiting for a reason to say, you're a hypocrite. Oh, you just like us. You just like us. Don't forget who you used to be. I had somebody say that to me a long time ago. Don't forget those things you used to sell. That ain't me no more. What you talking about? That was like 10 years ago. You're dying. But of course, they wait. And they wait for you to fall. Well, this brother said, for I will keep the commandments of my God. Okay? Let's read 116.
Come. Uphold me according unto thy word, that I may live.
See that? He's saying, I want to live. I don't want to die like everybody else, because he definitely hearing about it. Like how we hear about it on the news, right? Every day going to work, hear about somebody dying, somebody was shot. I want to live. I don't want to go through hell anymore. Hell is enough. Okay, let's read on.
Come. Let not me be ashamed of my hope.
See that? And I ain't gonna be ashamed of the Most High. Let's go to Luke 14 and verse 7. Because once again, to walk this walk, you gotta make sacrifice. Okay, gotta make sacrifice, and you gotta be willing to lose, knowing that in the future you're gonna gain. Okay, you're gonna gain it all. It's just going to require a ton of patience. Okay, what I call for Luke 14 and hold on, let me catch up right fast. Give me a second. Okay, Luke 14 and 7. Start there.
So Luke 14, verse 7. And he put forth a parable to those which were bidden, when he marked how they chose out the chief rulers, saying unto them,
go ahead.
Verse 8, when thou art bidden of any man to a wedding, sit not down in the highest room, lest a more honorable man than thou be bidden of him.
Hey, I'm sorry. Drop down to hold on, 13, verse 13.
Verse 13. But when thou makest a feast, call the poor, the maimed, the lame, the blind. Verse 14. And thou shalt be blessed, for they cannot recompense thee, for thou shalt be recompensed at the resurrection of the just.
So now what is the Lord saying? Right? Help the poor, feed the poor if you can. Okay, y'all don't just have a feast and invite all rich people, and most people do that. Okay, rich people, they don't even allow a poor man or woman to come up in there and eat. Okay, in the Isupk, we have our feast days and our cookouts and all that. We invite the poor to come eat because they need it, right? The poor are the people who are hungry, okay, who are thirsty, who don't have money like the rich. Drop down to verse 15.
Verse 15. And when one of them that sat at meat with him heard these things, he said unto him, Blessed is he that shall eat bread in the kingdom of God.
Now he said, Blessed is he that shall eat bread in the kingdom of God. Everybody ain't going to eat in on Christ's kingdom. Now, when I say everybody ain't going to eat, I ain't being literal, right? Meaning everybody ain't going to inherit the things that you are going to inherit in Christ's kingdom. Okay, everybody going to eat food, but everybody ain't going to eat. You understand? You know how black people talk. Hey, I'm eating. Like I'm up, and I got it. And I got some riches, and I got some wealth. Every black man or Hispanic man ain't going to have that in Christ's kingdom. Okay, only the ones that's going to serve the Most High God now and today. Let's read on.
Verse 16. Then said he unto him, A certain man made a great supper and bade many. Verse 17. And sent his servant at supper time to say to them that were bidden, Come, for all things are now ready.
All right, so he said, come on, everything ready now. Go ahead. Verse
18. And they all with one consent began to make excuse.
Now when it was time for them to pull up, at camp, right? Pull up, where the brothers are to go do the work of the Lord, they started making excuses. Go ahead.
The first said unto him, I have bought a piece of ground.
Like, I can't go. Why? I got a new business. I got a new house. I got some properties I got to watch over. Okay, read on.
And I must needs go and see it.
Go ahead.
I pray thee, have me excused.
He like, sir, can I please be excused? He like, can I please be excused? Go ahead.
Verse 19. And another said, I have bought 5 yoke of oxen.
So now the other like, hey, I got animals, I got farms, I got to take care of my yoke of oxen. Go ahead.
And I go to prove them. I pray thee, have me excused.
Go ahead.
Verse 20. And another said, I have married a wife.
He said, sir, you know I just got married, sir. You know I just got a woman. You know I've been waiting for a long time, right? Now I got a woman. He like, no, I can't leave yet. You understand me? Not yet, sir. Read on, please.
And therefore I cannot come.
He said, I cannot come. So of course they all started making an excuse, one after another, showing Christ their true colors, how they really feel inside. Once again, these men was not ready to make what? A sacrifice. They were not ready to make a sacrifice. That's why they started making excuses. Oh, why you not serving the Lord? Oh, because I'm going through some things right now. You know, my wife put me through so much hell. Hey, why haven't you been around, sis? Oh, I've been taking care of the kids. I'm doing this and I'm doing that. To serve the Lord, you gotta be willing to make a sacrifice. To you, it's like that's all you got. Oh, then the Lord bless you with that house. Then he bless you with those sheep. Then he bless you with that husband or that wife. If the Lord can bless you with that, imagine if you make that sacrifice. What else he'll bless you with? These men did not have no faith, and they wasn't willing to do the work But let's find out what Christ said. Let's read on.
Verse 21.
Mm-hmm.
So that servant came and shewed his Lord these things. Then the master of the house, being angry, said to his servant.
Now that master was mad as hell. He's like, where the men at? You telling me they all gotta go because they stay busy or they caught up with their own personal issues? Go ahead.
Go out quickly into the streets and lanes of the city and bring in hither the poor and the maid.
So he like, go out there and get the poor. Why is he saying go get the poor? Because the poor man don't got nothing. Poor man don't got nothing to lose, right? Where the poor man business at, Yediah? Where is his sheep or his oxen? Where are they? Where's his wife, his good wife at? He don't got none. So now the poor man has what? Time. He has time. Okay? So Christ like, go out there and go get the poor. Go ahead, read on.
And the halt,
Mm-hmm.
and the blind,
And the halt, and the blind man that can't see anything. I'd rather take him than these folks that think they got something going on. Read.
Verse 22. And the servant said, Lord, it is done as thou hast commanded,
Mm-hmm.
and yet there is room.
So now he gave them a opportunity to be great and to do great things. When the people who had something, think about most of us who are in the truth, right? We ain't like we ain't rich. You understand me? It's like, hey, this Commander Johnny Hanna ain't taking me. I don't know who's going to take me. I'm not tall enough to play basketball. You die. Hey, I can't throw the ball like Deshaun Jackson. You understand me? I wasn't going to get a PhD. God damn, I had nothing but time. You understand me? And of course, that's most of us who come up in here, right? And Christ take you and he make you Lord over thy creatures, like how he made Adam. And he give him power and authority and glory in this world and in the world that is to come. Okay? Drop down to verse 26.
Verse 26. If any man come to me and hate not his father and mother and wife and children and brethren and sisters, yea, and his own life also, he cannot be my disciple.
Now it's hardcore right here. Ooh, man. Most men and women just might as well go be Christians. Just go and be Christian or go be a Muslim. You know, Muslim, they hypocrites, right? Now, what does this mean, though? All right, what's the spirit? Like Christ said, if any man come to me and hate not his father and mother and wife and children and brethren and sisters, yea, and his own life also, he cannot be my disciple. What does this mean? What do you gotta hate about yourself? Let's start with yourself first, right? What do you gotta hate about yourself to serve God, to serve the Most High? Go ahead.
All carnal and evil things that you do.
Exactly. You gotta hate your evil ways, right? You gotta hate that you used to smoke weed, right? You gotta hate that you used to sell drugs, sell that poison to your people. Right, you can't come and serve God like, oh, I love my drug dealer life. I love my me being an alcoholic. I love that. No. So when it's time for you to serve the Lord, you gotta hate the fact that your father taught you evil ways. They taught you Christmas. They taught you Thanksgiving. They taught you alcoholism. They taught you weed. They taught you drugs. You gotta hate that your mother was so wicked to your father. And that's really why you didn't have a father around in your life. You got to hate the fact that your mother and them celebrate New Year and they celebrate Christmas and Thanksgiving and all these holidays. And right, you got to hate the fact that your wife think it's okay to have sex with multiple men when it's not. And your children. You gotta hate the fact that they want to celebrate birthdays and they want to celebrate Christmas and they want to be like everybody in the world and brother and sister. So the point is, you to come in here and serve God, you got to look at people in the world and you got to hate their evil ways. That's the only way to really serve the Most High God. If you love people in the strip club or you love the fact that they in there buying women, then how can you love the Most High God? Right? Think about it like this: cancer. You die. Look up how many people cancer killed this year. If I could get that for me, please.
Come. 609. It's like.
Mm-hmm.
Said for 2022.
Yep, just for that 1 year.
Con, sir. 609,036.
See that? 600,000 people died of cancer. Right? You gotta hate the fact that your brothers and sisters out there smoking cigarettes. You gotta hate their ways because you know that's killing them. 600,000 people a year. I'm not even gonna have you pull up HIV, Yedaya, or on AIDS. I'm not even gonna have you do that. I'm not, because we know the numbers. We know it. Read it again from the top, please. 26.
Verse 26. If any man come to me and hate not his father and mother and wife and children and brethren and sisters, yea, and his own wife also, he cannot be my disciple.
Yeah, you can't follow Christ if you don't hate their evil, disgusting ways. Okay, let's read on.
Verse 28. For which of you, intending to build a tower, sitteth not down first, and counteth the cost?
Yeah, you gotta count the cost, man. Right, you're gonna build a business, right? A tower, right? Which of you, intending to build a tower, sitteth not down first and counteth the cost? Go ahead.
Whether he has significant to finish it.
See that? You gotta know if you can finish it, finish off the job. Okay. For time's sake, drop down to verse 33.
Verse 33. So likewise, whosoever he be of you that forsaketh not all that he had.
Now, once again, in other words, you gotta be prepared to lose everything. And I'm just telling you that out of love, right? You gotta be prepared. You may lose your wife. Why? Because your wife want to be in the world. And you may lose your husband if your husband is in the world, right? Your husband may leave you for a white woman. Why? Because he's in the world. And likewise, whosoever he be that forsaketh not all that he has, you gotta be willing to put it all on the line for our King Yahweh Mashiach. Why do I say that? Because he put his life on the line for every single one of us. And God ain't asking us to put our lives on the line. All you telling you, hey, you may lose a job. You may lose a spouse. You may lose this. You may lose that. But just be prepared for it. And also, when it comes to pass, this is how you know you're in the truth. Once again, we know this book is real by the prophecies that come to pass. And if you wait alone, right, just a little while, you stick around a little while, you'll see these prophecies coming. And then you'll be aware and you know what's going on. Let's read on.
He cannot be my disciple. 34. Salt is good, but if the salt have lost his savior, wherewith shall it be seasoned?
All right, so I think y'all get the point, right? Let's drop that. Let's go to Exodus 23. 23 and verse 2. You can get that one for me, Yediah. Brother Chris, you hold Romans 14 and 21 for me, okay?
Come, the book of Exodus, chapter 23, verse 2.
Hold on, let me catch up with you, Dai.
Come.
All right, go ahead, you got it.
Come, Exodus, chapter 23, and verse 2.
Mm-hmm.
Thou shalt not follow a multitude to do evil.
Read it again.
Thou shalt not follow a multitude to do evil.
New Year's. Read it again.
Thou shalt not follow a multitude to do evil.
See that? Now, to be in the truth, you gotta not be like everybody else, right? Everybody celebrated Christmas, right? Everybody celebrated New Year's, but it was that small percentage, Yediah.
Right.
Those crazy Negroes on that corner. They sat home chilling. You know what I'm saying? They sat home chilling. You ain't out there in the mix. Happy New Year. You got grown men and women with the glasses on, 20, 23, looking like a big child. Okay? Once again, like the Lord said in Hosea, we are destroyed for lack of knowledge because we lack this book. We seek to be like everybody else. Everybody is doing this, so now I'm going to be a part of it. But this is what the Lord said. Read it again from the top, please.
Come, sir. Thou shalt not follow a multitude to do evil.
Read it again.
Thou shalt not follow a multitude to do evil.
See that? Thou shalt not follow a multitude to do evil. Read on.
Neither shalt thou speak in a cause to decline after many to rest judgment.
Go ahead.
Neither shalt thou countenance a poor man in his cause.
All right, you can drop that. That's going into something else. Let's go to Romans, what I call for Romans 14 and 21.
Romans chapter 14, verse 21. It is good neither to eat flesh, nor to drink wine, nor anything whereby thy brother stumbleth.
So now, if something is going to make your brother stumble, then you don't want to do it, right? Like the black eyed peas. Oh my God! I hope y'all ain't no black eyed peas. Because I know I just kept hearing about black eyed peas. I said, God damn! Listen, if black eyed peas is going to cause my brother to like stumble, then I'm not going to eat black eyed peas. Right? If turkey is going to cause my brother or my sister to stumble, because remember, they watching you. Everybody got their eyes on you because they know you in the UPK and you talk about following the laws, statutes, and commandments, and they watching everything you do. So because you know the scripture, right, you be aware of that. I'm going to watch what I do. I'm going to watch what I eat, and I'm also going to watch what I say to make sure I don't offend my brother or my sister or make them stumble or make them fall. Okay, let's drop that. Let's go to Philippians, the 3rd chapter. Hey, I can't do those small Bibles no more. You're dying. Right. Man, this whole time, man, I thought I was seeing. I feel like I'm in heaven right now, brother. It's a lot. I thought y'all why y'all was shy. Man, I should have been got one of these giant things, man. It's a lot. All right, we're gonna go to Philippians, 3rd chapter. Hold on. Okay. Okay, 3 and 13.
Come on, Philippians chapter 3, verse 15.
If I could read verse 1, 2 first, and then drop down to 15.
Come on, Philippians chapter 3, verse 1. Finally, my brother, rejoice in the Lord.
Mm-hmm.
So write the same things to you.
Go ahead.
To me, indeed, is not grievous, but for you, it is safe.
Go ahead.
Verse 2. Beware of dogs. Beware of evil workers. Beware of the concession.
Now drop down to verse 12. Drop down to 12.
Come on, verse 12. Not as though I had already attained, either were already perfect, but I follow after, if that I may apprehend that for which also I am apprehended. of Christ Yahushua.
Go ahead.
Verse 13. Brethren, I count not myself to have apprehended, but this one thing I do.
Now remember, right? We talking about sacrifice, right? This one thing that this brother understood, right? And that he ain't just teach on it, but he did it. So he said, brethren, I count not myself to be apprehended, but this one thing I do, right? Read.
Forgetting those things which are behind.
Doing what?
Forgetting those things which are behind.
Letting the grudges go. Read it again.
Forgetting those things that are behind.
Letting the evil people go in the past. Read it
Forgetting
again.
those things which are behind.
Letting all the trauma go that you experienced in the past. Go ahead.
Forgetting those things which are behind.
Somebody owe you money and they never paid you the money. Read it again.
Forgetting those things which are behind.
This is the beginning of serving God. You got to forget those things which are behind, right? Most people live in their mind in the past. You are who you are because of the past. And that's why you were so evil. You were so wicked. That's why you got high. That's why you went out partying all day 24/7, right? To serve the Most High God, you got to leave the past in the past and move towards the future. What do I got to do now to have a better life? I'm not going to live in the past and feeling sorry for myself. I ain't have a dad. You ain't have a father. You ain't had nobody there to take care of you. You want to know why most of us ain't have fathers or good mothers? Because we're in captivity. That's why. If we wasn't in captivity, things would have been so better for us as a nation, as a people. But we had to experience so much because this oppressor is so greedy and he won't give us nothing. And now what do? We fight over the smallest things. Just watch and see when income tax time come around. Everybody fight who want to claim him. I'm going to claim JJ. I've been taking care of him all day. I'm claiming so and so. Boy, I tell you, income tax time, those demons coming out. Claiming somebody you ain't even been taking care of. IRS should come at you and take all that money and put you in prison for 10 years. Okay? Let's read on, please.
And reaching forth unto those things which are before.
And doing what?
Reaching forth unto those things which are before.
See that? Which is what? The kingdom of God. Okay? Let's drop that. Let's go to Leviticus 19 and verse 17. You get that one for me, Adai, please.
Leviticus chapter 19 and verse 17.
Mm-hmm.
Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thy heart.
Read it again.
Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thy heart.
Now, thou shalt not hate thy brother in your heart. Now, your brother is also your mother, right? That's your mother, but that's still your sister, right? Your brother is also your father. Okay, you can't be hating him because he wasn't around your whole entire life. Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thy heart, meaning your mind. Read on.
Come. Thou shalt in any wise rebuke thy neighbor.
Okay, if somebody offend you, then you go to them and you talk to them. Like the Lord said, go to he or thee alone. Okay, if a brother offend you, if I offend you, pull me to the side. Hey, Captain, mind if I talk to you for a second, sir? Right, and if I don't agree with you, right, if I don't be like, matter of fact, you right, I was wrong, then you are under the law to take me to counsel. Okay, if thy brother offend thee, then you take him before 1 or 2 witnesses. Now let's talk about people in the truth. If a sister offend you, you go to her, and if she don't agree with you and be like, matter of fact, sis, you right, I was wrong, then you are under commandment to take that sister to counsel. In most cases, we get in our own mind and we let it go. But really, you ain't letting it go. You want to know what's going to happen? The same thing going to happen, right? It's like when you at work. And if somebody offends you at work and you in your mind, oh, I'm going to let it go. Or, hey, it's just a one-time thing. And then JJ then hit you again. Like, goddamn, Mom. And now in your mind, it's like you can feel the, oh, man, what's the word I'm looking for, man? You can feel the tension. Right. You go around that brother, you go around that sister, you feel that tension. But what started that tension? The first offense. Imagine if you'd have went to that brother or sister and cleared it out from the gate. Okay, that's where hate starts from. Not talking to somebody if they offended you, not pulling them to the side, which is why Christ in the New Testament, he said, matter of fact, it's a law. If your brother offend you, you go to him. If he don't hear you, he don't agree you, then you take it to council and we'll deal with it. Okay? Read again from the top, please.
Leviticus chapter 19 verse 17. Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thy heart.
Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thy mind. Go ahead.
Thou shalt not in any wise rebuke thy neighbor, and not suffer sin upon him.
Now, and not suffer sin upon him. If somebody do something evil to you, remember, James said, right, render not evil for evil, but render evil with good. Okay? In most cases, we want to get people back. You want to know why we want to get people back? We're cardinal. Right? I know you driving, somebody beat back you like you driving so fast and you just take your foot off the gas. You slow down. I got something for you. And in your mind, it makes you feel good, right? So if somebody do something to you, you're like, I gotta get them back. It's gonna make your flesh feel good. But your spirit gonna know you should have not done that. That was not the right thing to do. Okay, which is why the Lord said, and not suffer sin upon. Remember, also the Lord said, vengeance is mine. Thus saith the Lord. Let's read on, verse 18.
Verse 18. Thou shalt not avenge.
Thou shalt not what?
Thou shalt not avenge.
No, I'm gonna get him back. Well, I'm gonna get her back. I'm gonna fix him. I'm gonna get him. Just give me some time. You listen to people like that. They talking about they gonna fix them. That is somebody that hold grudges. That is somebody that is holding a grudge from what? 3 years old. Okay, and cannot let it go. The Lord said, thou shalt not avenge. Let's read on.
Nor bear any grudge.
Nor bear what?
Any grudge.
Nor bear what?
Any grudge.
Nor bear any grudge. Go ahead.
Against the children of thy people.
So if they black or Hispanic, you cannot hold a grudge in your mind against them. That's a sin. It's a sin against God to not let things go. Okay, the Lord said, thou shalt not avenge, nor bear any grudge against the children of thy people. You can hold a grudge against the other nations, but not against God's chosen people. Not that black man you living with.
Right.
A black man, you can't hold a grudge against your wife. Something happened 10 years ago. Leave it alone. Let it go. Don't even bring it up, right? Because when we get in the past, you want to know what's going to happen? Then tons of other devices going to open up. And now you remember what happened 5 years ago. And she talking about what happened 10 years ago. And it's like, now we can't move forward because nobody is forgiven. But everybody is holding a grudge. Holding a grudge is unlawful, man, in the sight of God. Okay? Let's read on.
But thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself.
But thou shalt do what?
But thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself.
And this is how you love thy neighbor as thyself. Let's go to Matthew 18 and 15. All right. You read it when you get a chance, Brother Chris, when you get it. Matthew 18 and verse 15.
Matthew chapter 18, verse 15. Moreover, if thy brother shall trespass against thee.
Now, who's speaking here? This is these words are in red, right? So this Christ speaking here. Read it from the top.
Matthew chapter 15. So it's like verse 8, chapter 18, verse 15. Moreover, if thy brother shall trespass against thee.
So if thy brother shall trespass against thee, right? Brother may something that he may say something that offends you, right? May do something to you that offends you, right? So if a brother or sister trespass, do something that offends you. Let's read on.
Go and tell him his fault.
Go and do what?
Tell him his fault.
Now, imagine if we all kept this one law. Tons of Negroes that's dead right now wouldn't be dead.
Right.
Tons of our brothers that's in prison, our sisters in prison, they wouldn't be in prison right now if we all kept this one law. The Lord said, moreover, if thy brother shall trespass against thee, go and tell him his fault. He ain't say keep it in your mind, right? He said, go and tell him his fault. Read on.
Between thee and him alone.
Meaning you don't do it in front of everybody, right? You ever been checked in front of a supervisor and that supervisor checked you in front of everybody? How did that make you feel? Embarrassed, right? Now, if the supervisor pulls you to the side and be a professional, you won't feel the way that you felt when she or he checked you in front of everybody. That's the same spirit, right? Go back and read it one more time.
Matthew chapter 18, verse 15. Moreover, if thy brother shall trespass against thee, go and tell him his fault between thee and him alone.
Go ahead, you pull him to the side, or you pull her to the side. Go ahead.
If he shall hear thee, thou hast gained thy brother.
Now, the hear thee is agree. That's the hear. If she don't agree, if you be like, hey, brother, I ain't like how you checked me in front of those brothers like that, right? And if he say anything besides, you right, I agree with you, right? That's the hear thee. The hear thee is if she be like, sis, you right, I was wrong. I should have not done that. Okay, let's read on. So now he said, thou has gained thy brother, right? 16.
Verse 16. But if he will not hear thee.
Now, but you're like, no, man, that wasn't right, man. You shouldn't been acting like a nut like that out there, man. Right? If he don't hear you, or if she don't hear thee, if she like, oh, sis, that wasn't right what you said on Facebook. You wasn't supposed to make that post like that, right? But yet I offended you. After that, this is what you do. Read 16 again from the top.
Verse 16. But if he will not hear thee, then take with thee one or two more, that in the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses every word may be established.
See that? You ain't able to work it out. Not according to the law. You're not able to talk it out. Not according to the law. According to the law, if I offend you, right? And if I don't agree, then you are under the law to do what, Brother Chris? Take me to counsel. That's it, right? And then 1 or 2 witnesses, right? You'll be in the council with the generals, right? We'll hear your story, we'll hear his story, and then every word will be established. And then they will make a decision on who was right and who was wrong. Okay, let's read on.
Verse 17. And if he shall neglect to hear them.
Now, if he neglect to hear the counsel, right? So now the brother was saying, hey, you was wrong for, doing that in front of everybody. Now in counsel, the generals tell you, hey, you was wrong, right? You got to pay this fine. You got to pay him back for doing that, right? So now, if you neglect to hear the counsel, you neglect to hear them, go ahead.
Telling unto the church.
Now we're going to have another council, right? And now all of the schools are going to be involved. Everybody going to hear her story, going to hear his side, going to hear her side. Read.
But if he neglects to hear the church.
But if he still think he's right, he still think he did the right thing. Go ahead.
Let him be unto thee as an heathen, man and a publican.
All right, so now what's the spirit of the last line? Let him or her be as a heathen or a publican. Go ahead.
Somebody that's in the word, not in the truth.
Okay, you want it. What's gonna? Okay, if I say that, you're gonna get it. Okay, let him be as a heathen man and a publican. What's going to happen if he or she ain't hearing nobody? Okay, you're going to cut them off, but give it to me where everybody going to understand it. Now, you want to take a stab at it, sis? Okay, you right. Y'all both right. Put your hand down, your diet. You're cheating on that spelling test, brother. Put it down. I already know you know. All right. when it says let him or her be as a heathen or a publican, meaning now you get kicked out the school. All right. If you don't hear the counsel, if you still think you were right, take it before the whole congregation. The generals told you were wrong. Everybody that listened to the story told you were wrong. And if you still don't want to listen, now you get kicked out of school and you can't come back here anymore. All right, that's the spirit of what Christ is telling us here. All right, drop that. Let's go to Genesis, the 22nd chapter. Also, if I could to your diet, man, that Matthew 18th chapter is so heavy, right? Because even if you do think you were right, let me help you understand the spirit of on Christ. Christ was crucified for what? For nothing, right? Even if in your mind it's like, oh yeah, but I'm still right. Didn't Christ make a sacrifice? And Christ was put to death, and he never ate pork. He never smoked weed, you dying. He never went to a strip club. Christ never celebrated New Year's. He never celebrated Christmas. If he made that sacrifice and he did nothing wrong, but we did everything wrong, then you should make that sacrifice as well. Even though you wasn't right, you was wrong. But in your mind, you think you're right, because everybody think they're right. Remember, the Lord said he doeth what? He will correct those he loveth. Okay, I'm paraphrasing it. You got to take that correction. And the Lord going to give you correction because he loves you. Okay, let's go to Genesis 22nd chapter, please. Let's start at verse 1.
Genesis chapter 22, verse 1. And it came to pass after these things that God did tempt Abraham. So
now this is when the Lord, once again, right? Everybody going to go through some temptation. Everybody going to go through trial and error. Abraham went through it. David went through it. Saul went through it. Solomon went through it. All right, what makes you think you ain't going to go through it? Read again from the top, please.
Genesis chapter 22, verse 1. Mm-hmm. And it came to pass after these things that God did tempt Abraham. Mm-hmm. And said unto him, Abraham. And he said, behold, here I am.
So now he called Abraham, right? And then Abraham, hey, I'm right here, sir. Go ahead.
Verse 2. And he said, take now thy son, thy only son Isaac.
Okay, who is the he here? Mm-hmm. Okay. No.
Is it an angel?
It's an angel of God, right? The Lord gives the order to the angel, and the angel speaks to the men or woman, right? So this is an angel here talking to Abraham. And this is what he said. Read 2 again.
Verse 2. And he said, take down thy son, thy only son Isaac, whom thou lovest, and get thee into the hand of Moriah.
The land of Moriah.
The land of Moriah. Mm-hmm. And offer him there for a burnt offering upon one of the mountains which I will tell thee of.
All right, so let me stop y'all for a second, right? So Exodus 15 and verse 3 says what? The Most High is a man of war, right? So reading this, right, it's a chance that you may have to sacrifice your own children. That may be your temptation. That may be your test, right? The Lord came to Abraham, and Isaac was his only son. And if I ain't mistaken, right, Yediah, Isaac was Jesus Christ in the reincarnation, right? So in all actuality, the Lord was testing Abraham and trying to see how he going to react or what is he going to do. Let's read on.
Verse 3. And Abraham rose up early in the morning and saddled his ass, mm-hmm. and took 2 of his young men with him.
So he saddled his donkey, right? And he took 2 of his young men with him. Go ahead.
and Isaac his son,
Mm-hmm.
and clave the wood for the burnt offering,
Go ahead.
and rose up,
Mm-hmm.
and went unto the place of which God had told him.
So now, right now, he's following what the Lord telling him to do thus far. Read.
Verse 4. Then on the third day, Abraham lifted up his eyes and saw the place afar off.
So now he saw the place where the Lord told him to go. Read.
Verse 5. And Abraham said unto his young men, Abide ye here with the ass,
Mm-hmm.
and I and the lad will go yonder and worship,
Mm-hmm.
and come again to you.
All right, the last talking about his son. Read.
Verse 6. And Abraham took the wood of the burnt offering,
So now Abraham took the wood of the burnt offering, go ahead,
and laid it upon Isaac his son.
and he laid it upon Isaac his son, go ahead,
And he took the fire in his hand,
and he took the fire in his hand, go ahead,
and a knife,
and a what?
a knife,
And a what?
a knife,
And he took a knife, go ahead.
and they went both of them together.
So now they went to that place together, go ahead.
Verse 7. And Isaac spake unto Abraham his father,
Uh-huh.
and said, My father. And he said, Here am I, my son. And he said, Behold, the fire and the wood, but where is the lamb for the burnt offering?
Oh my God, I would have been in tears. Oh my God. Do y'all get what Isaac is saying here? Isaac understand that the wood is for the sacrifice. And he also understand that it should be lamb because we killed the lamb to make a sacrifice unto the Lord. So his son kind of like, Father, what is going on here? Let's read on.
Verse 8. And Abraham said, My son, God will provide himself a lamb for a burnt offering.
Uh-huh.
So they went both of them together.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 9. And they came to the place which God had told them of. And Abraham built an altar there and laid the wood in order.
So he laid the wood right in order. Go ahead.
And bound Isaac his son.
And he bound Isaac his son. Go ahead.
And laid him on the altar upon the wood.
And laid him upon the altar on the wood. Go ahead.
Verse 10. And Abraham stretched forth his hand.
So he did this, right? He got the sword. He stretched forth his hand. Go ahead.
And took the knife to slay his son.
So now he taking the knife, about to slay his son. Go ahead.
Verse 11. And the angel of the Lord called unto him out of heaven and said, Abraham, Abraham.
He said what?
Abraham.
He like, Abraham. Why do you think he's saying it like that? Because he trying to get him to not kill his son now. Like, Abraham, right? Trying to get him to get in his right senses, right? You heard somebody call your name like, Aunt, what you doing? Tone, what you doing? Wake up, wake up, wake up. That same spirit. Read on.
And he said, Here am I. Verse 12. And he said, Lay not thy hand upon the lad.
He said, lay not thy hand upon your son. Go ahead.
Neither do thou anything unto him.
Neither do anything unto him. Go ahead.
For now I know that thou fearest God.
For now I know that you fear the Most High God. Go ahead.
Seeing thou hast not withheld thy son.
Okay, now with that being said, let's understand the spirit of it. Okay, so if the Most High ain't want Abraham to kill Isaac, his son, then why did he even tell him to do it? Right, you're right. But it's another spirit of it though. He wanted to see, and in the second I say it, y'all gonna be like, damn, you're right. The Lord will put you in a situation to see how far are you willing to go. How far are you willing to go? Right? Like, are you willing to stop here and not try? Abraham was willing to go all the way and kill his own son to show God that he loved him. Go ahead, Darius. Yeah, go ahead. Come on.
It's Hebrews chapter 11, verse 17.
All right, let's go there. Everybody go there. Hebrews 11 and 17. All right, you got it, Yediah.
Hebrews chapter 11, verse 17.
Mm-hmm.
By faith, Abraham, when he was tried.
By faith, right? Abraham, when he was tried, go ahead.
Offered up Isaac, and he that had received the promises offered up his only begotten son.
Offer up who?
His only begotten son.
He offered up his only special son. So how you know this was really hard for Isaac? I keep saying Isaac, Abraham. It was his only son, his only special son. Read on.
Of whom it was said that in Isaac shall thy seed be called.
Meaning Isaac was going to receive the blessing, right? And then it was going to be passed down to Jacob and then the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel. So what is the whole point of this, right? If Abraham can be tested, right? If Christ can be tempted, you forget about Christ, man. He was tempted in the wilderness. You know, even when he was about to die, like he asked the Lord, can this cup pass from me? Can this pain, this torture, can it go away? And I don't have to go through this, right? Who else was tested? Daniel was tested, right? How was Daniel tested? They put him in a lion den, right? For like 3 weeks. Brothers and sisters in this Bible have always been tested. This is what it comes down to, right? When you are tested, are you going to pass or fail? Most men and women fell, right? When it was Peter time, oh man, you know about Peter, man. I know y'all know about Peter. When it was his time to be tested, he said, oh yeah, I'm down. Oh yeah, what kind, sir? Yes, sir, I'm down. But when it came down to it, you know, John the Baptist, when it was time for him to give up his authority and follow Christ, where was he? He left, right? Trial and tribulation is how you know somebody, right? That's how you know you got a good woman or a good man. Not by the good days y'all have, but when y'all in trial. Are you going to leave? Are you going to bounce? Or are you going to stick around when things go bad too? Are you going to be here where we're struggling financially, right? When you lose a house, and you lose a car, or you lose your kids, or you lose your father, your mother, right? The Lord then took them up out of here. You know somebody by how they deal with hard situations. That's how you know a good supervisor from a bad supervisor. Put them in a hot situation, and then you'll see them for their true colors. All right? Abraham was tested, and he passed. And the Lord rewarded him for that. The Lord called Abraham his what? Go ahead. He called him his friend. Because he was willing to sacrifice his own son to prove to God that I'm not going to let my kids get in the way of serving you. And that's the mindset everybody going to need to stay up in this walk and push it through. All right. All right. We can drop that. Is it any questions online, Yediah? All right. No sweat. Let's go to Ecclesiasticus, 38th chapter. All right. Let's start at 38 and verse 10.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 30, verse 10.
Mm-hmm.
Laugh not with him.
Oh, I'm sorry. Ecclesiasticus in the Apocrypha, 38 and 10.
Oh, 38.
Yes, I'm sorry.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 38, verse 10.
Mm-hmm.
Leave off from sin.
Leave off from what?
Sin.
That's the fight, right? Satan want to try to get you to go through so much, right? Go through so much, and now you're so distracted, and you go back to your sin. You go back to your iniquity. Why? Because you're going to remember, I guess, the good times we had in the world. Sheesh, it's rough. Go ahead, read on.
And order thine hands aright.
And order thy what?
Hands aright.
Meaning everything you do, gotta make sure you do it the right way, right? You can't be doing evil with your hands, right? Everything you touch, you gotta be righteous. Okay, read.
And cleanse thy heart from all wickedness.
And do what?
Cleanse thy heart from all wickedness.
And cleanse thy heart. And that's a constant fight. Oh God, constant fight, right? Man, life is warfare, right? Listen, if you want to be a true warrior, then learn how to tell yourself no, and keep telling yourself no, right? Learn how to hear a voice in your mind that's trying to get you to be like everybody else, that's trying to get you to do evil. Catch it, right on. That's what I used to do. I used to catch it. You die, catch it, and once you catch it, you're aware of it, and you don't do it. Right, I remember like it was yesterday on General Mayak, right? He said, "This is how you fight demons." Okay, some demons you fight by just not saying nothing. You be quiet because the demon is talking to you in your mind and it's trying to get you to let it out. But sometimes you fight demons by doing the opposite of what you want to do. Right? Most brothers in prison, can you imagine if they did the opposite of what they wanted to do and shot somebody, they'd still be home, right? They'd be free.
Right.
That's how you fight. Got to do the opposite of what your mind is telling you to do. Okay, let's drop that. Give me James, the 2nd chapter, Yediah, Baruch Hashem. And hold on, it's something else I'm looking for. What is that? Hold on, bear with me 1 second. Okay. There we go. All right. So you, Brother Chris, you hold 1 John 4 and 20. Right? And hold on. And on Yediah, start at, hold on, bear with me 1 second. Hold on. So, Brother Chris, you go 1 John 4 and 20. And we're going to go to James. Okay, James 2. And let's start at 22, Yediah.
James chapter 2 and verse 22.
Mm-hmm.
Seest thou how faith wrought with his works?
You had James. Oh, I'm sorry. I said 2 and 22. James 1 and 22.
The book of James chapter 1 and verse 22.
Mm-hmm.
Be ye doers of the word.
Be ye what?
Be ye doers of the word.
Now, everybody talk a good talk, right? Until it's time to, do that thing you've been talking about. But be ye doers of the word. Go ahead.
And not hearers only.
And not what?
Hearers only.
And not what?
Hearers only.
See that? You can't just hear it with your ear. Right. Oh yeah, you're right. Oh yeah, you go out there and you do your own thing. Go ahead.
Deceiving your own self.
Because all you're doing is lying to yourself. Okay. You can't just be a hearer of the law and not do the thing that you're hearing. Read.
Verse 23. For if any be a hearer of the word.
For if any be a hearer of the word, go ahead.
And not a doer.
And not a what?
And not a doer.
So if you hear the good thing you should do, but yet you don't do it, go ahead.
He is like unto a man beholding his natural face in a glass.
See that? You're just looking at your ugly self, man. That same man or woman that you always used to be. And you ain't fooling the Lord, because the Lord knows your heart. He knows what's in your mind. Read.
Verse 24. For he beholdeth himself and goeth his way, and straightway forgetteth what manner of man he was.
Drop down to verse 26.
Verse 26. If any man among you seem to be religious.
Now, if any man among you seem to be religious, go ahead.
And brought up not his, and brought up not his tongue.
And not hold your tongue, meaning you say everything that comes to your mind, every stupid thought, every voice. Read.
But deceiveth his own heart.
But do it what?
But deceiveth his own heart.
You deceiveth your own heart, your own mind. Go ahead.
This man's religion is vain.
See that this man's faith is vain, right? Meaning what? If you want to really serve the Most High God, you got to watch what comes out your mouth.
Right.
Because life and death is in the tongue. You imagine how many sisters went to go get abortion because all these wicked behind bros told her to do so. Death and life is in the mouth. Read on.
Pure religion and undefiled before God and the Father is this.
Drop down to James 2 and 26.
James chapter 2 and verse 26. For as the body without the spirit is dead.
Now, for as the body without the spirit is dead, right? Meaning, if the Lord take your spirit out your body want to die. The spirit is why the body is alive. Read.
So faith without works is dead also.
Read that again.
So faith without works is dead also.
So faith without works is dead also, right? What is faith? It's action. It's sacrifice. It's a deed, right? Anybody can say, oh yeah, I'm gonna be with you forever. Yeah, you know how many times you heard that? Oh, you my first and my last, right? Faith without works is dead. It's the same when it comes to serving the Most High God. You need action. You need works. You can't just say you about this life, and then when it comes down to it, your works, your actions is showing that you really ain't down with the Lord. All right? Because faith is action, and action is works. 1 John 4 and 20.
1 John chapter 4, verse 20. If a man say, I love God.
Now, if a man say, I love God, well, everybody loves God. Oh my God. You ask every Christian, you love God? Raise your hand. Oh, me, like a little student in high school, man. Yeah, you love God. If any man say he love God, go ahead.
And hated his brother, he is a liar.
He is a what?
Liar.
Now, why is the Lord saying that? If any man say he loves God, but hated his brother, is a liar. He's saying, like, how can you love God, but you hate your brother? You hate your own people. How can you love the Lord, and yet that sister, you hate her? You hate her. You can't stand her. This is the spirit behind it. Read the next line.
For he that loveth not his brother, whom he hath seen.
Now the Lord, like, you see your brother, your sister every single day. Right. Every single day, y'all sit together, y'all drink together, y'all talk together. Sometimes y'all have good times, sometimes y'all have bad days together. Read on.
How can he love God whom he have not seen?
Y'all know people are stupid, but God is not. Y'all do understand that, right? The Lord, like, how can you love me? You never saw me before, but yet you see your brothers and your sisters every single day. You can't love God and you hate your own people in your heart. You can't. It got to be both. You got to love your people and you got to love the Most High God, because anything else is what? Hypocrisy. Right. And like we read earlier, that leaven, you got to get out. Okay, got to get out. You cannot love God and hate your own people. Because once again, if I could, the Lord said, love me with all thy heart and with all thy soul, right? For this is the love of God, that we keep his commandments. How can you love God, but yet you hate your own people? You're holding grudges, you're trying to seek revenge, and you're trying to kill your own people. It ain't working, man. The Lord, like, you ain't fooling. Okay? Any questions before I wrap it up? No sweat. So with that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and pass the class. Y'all good? Y'all have any questions in here? Y'all solid? No sweat. I'm gonna pass the class over to the priest and officer, your diet.
Shout out Marty Charles, strong man. That being said, we're the ISUPK, Charlotte, 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under command of Johanna. Rule for new brother and sister. When a new brother and sister come to the school, they're off limits for 6 months. They'll be saluted only. They can shut themselves with the world. They need transportation. The teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission to head to speak to a brother or sister. There's another 6 months when the brother and sister will court each other. After the 6 month period, the brother and sister will get permission for the head to marry. Tithe is a commandment. You can read about this in the book of Numbers, chapter 18, verse 21. In the book of Malachi, chapter 3, verse 8 through 10. Ma'ishra is 10th in Hebrew, 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you. Give to the treasury department. Priest fund, free will for the priest, not mandatory. Once every month, you like to give. Upcoming holy convocation will be the Feast of Purim, which is the 14th day and the 15th day of the 12th month. Sunday, March 5th and March 6th. That Monday. And you can read about that in the book of Esther, chapter 9, and verse 20 to 31. Make sure y'all check the bulletin board in the hallway for the events that we may have. If any brother wants to be a trooper in the school, start to wear all black, head start with that. I advise you to stand with brothers. Men of Israel, but if the brothers one person salute, men of Israel, Shabbat, Mike, Barak, Yahweh, Shem, Shabbat, Thumb. Hands down, Star, Mike. Jeremiah, probably put your feet at a 45 degree angle with your right hand, collapse over your left, your head bottom covered. Men of Israel, we're going to give the sisters one courtesy salute. Men of Israel, Shabbat, Mike, Barak, Yahweh, Shemar, Thumb, Shem, Yahweh, Shai. Most High Christ. And what he said was that the Most High watch over me in the name of Christ. God can tie his hands down.
Dad, don't let nobody take my